Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit. We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this.
I still like that intro, Johnny. I'm not going to lie.
You'll get me every time on that.
So some shit we talk on this pod, man, and then he puts it all at the start, and you're like, well, it kind of gives people who've never been here before the opportunity to kind of go, right, well, I stick around.
Well, the fucking idiots.
Yeah. How you doing today, anyway, Johnny? All right?
Yeah, not too bad today, my mate. You?
Good. I'm doing okay, thanks.
Is that internet hamster fit?
The internet hamster, I think, has always been fine. It was just the quality of the laptop that was letting me down previously, I think. But Jay has come to the rescue yet again with some laptop that seems to be doing the job so far. So let's not kick the hamster yet.
Well, I've got my stand-up routine ready just in case.
Oh, grand, good.
Yeah.
We should have probably run through that before we went live, but sure, here we're here now anyway. We'll see what happens. Johnny, we're here to talk about the I'd like to say a convincing win over West Ham. You were at the game as well on Friday when the team sheet came out. What did you make of it? Were you surprised by the changes, or were you kind of expecting some but not as many, perhaps?
I predicted more or less the starting lineup by Aronson. I said James would be in, but the rest of it I got right. Actually, I was expecting it. I just thought Farker on Wednesday was very, very, quiet about his starting lineup. He usually says things, doesn't he? Lets the odd thing out, but he didn't give anything away at all, did he?
No.
So yeah, the starting lineup was, say, bar Aronson was spot on for me. I mean, I would have kept James. I would have probably started James, let him run his bollocks off for 60 minutes. But where Aronson played, but you can't really knock him, can you?
This is the thing, isn't it? Yeah. I think Dan James he's not up 100% up to it at the moment. I don't think. No. I think Fark, even though people are kind of crying out for it in certain sectors of the fan base for James to start over certain players. It's one of those, I think he's starting to maybe prove a few people wrong, perhaps, is Brendy. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Dan James is going to be absolutely fantastic in the Premier League when he gets back up to speed. But currently, I know there's a current member of the pod that probably won't agree. I think he's definitely earning his place at the moment. That performance, granted, we'll get it was against West Ham. You can only beat what's in front of you.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think Brendan there on Friday night, he's starting to do something that I mentioned a little bit on previous pods, where he's starting to run at players now.
Yeah.
And buy the easy fouls, because his feet are quite quick when he's in tight situations. We saw it on the wing and that there on Friday night, where over by the dugout he was in some predicaments and coming away with the ball, and he is definitely earning his place for me.
It was all his good work. I thought that was when he was central. He was central quite a lot, I thought. And he was, like I say, he was just getting the ball. Like I said, there was that run, wasn't there? Where he hit the crossbar. It turned all Jesse Marsh, didn't he? Like, just run down the middle.
Do you think is that something that Fark maybe identified with West Ham's poor midfield, that there was gaps there? Because we saw Ampadu do it once or twice. I think even Rodon ploughed into midfield at one point and played the ball out wide to Okafor. So is that something that maybe he targeted?
Yeah, it could have done. Yeah, because their midfield is poor now, isn't it? It's not great shapes, is it? But yeah, like Ampadu, he did exactly the same. He turned into prime Maradona and all, didn't he? Then shit himself at the edge of the box. So, but yeah, I think that was the way they looked at it. I thought, because they're very weak in midfield.
there. There was a lot of people like I put my hand up, me included. I would have taken Souček on a free, but not as a starter.
Yeah.
I'd have taken him as a very capable backup to kind of see out a game, perhaps. But he didn't really look like he was anything like the player that I was kind of saying, let's take him if he's going on a free. But I thought that lad in midfield as well, he wasn't great either. Now, who was that? Let me have a look.
There was a young kid who came on for them, number 18. He looked quite lively when he came on. Young kid.
Yeah, the Hernandez, wasn't it? Fernando.
I can't remember his name. It was a young kid that didn't look very old at all. But he was quite good. Yeah,
Irving and Souček in the middle of the park doesn't scream reliability really to anybody else. I think when we're up against it, we tend to look quite good sometimes, but we didn't have an awful lot to play against there. I think on Friday night, Johnny. I thought even the momentum graph. Look, I'm going to get all fancy here now because I've got a working laptop, so I'm going to bamboozle you all with an old momentum graph here. Gilly will be well proud of me at this one. I'm not sure if that reflects quite how I'd like to say dominant we were, to be fair.
Yeah, that don't reflect much of the game to me, that.
No. Like usually you see a team with that dominance kind of, around these two parts here is like, I don't think West Ham had that much of the ball to be looking like they were that heavy on the momentum graph, Johnny.
No, I don't seem to remember them. Like they had a little bit of the ball. It's like I said, the period in the second half, in the middle of the second half, they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
no, they passed it about a lot. And they said, like somebody mentioned in the comments, it was that Freddie Potts who came on for them. He's sort of like, got them going a little bit, and he was trying to spread it about a bit. But I won't say that there was that much momentum there on that graph.
No, I don't.
And I was pretty sober watching this game as well, so I don't remember most of it.
But that's there you go. It's a good sign. What a Friday evening kickoff will do when you have to work.
I know. So it's quite nice to remember most of the game, actually. To be fair.
Yeah. I thought the midfield was very dominant. Now, to be fair, I just want to maybe touch on since we're talking midfields, like I put in notes here. West Ham, fuck all in midfield, really. But I was delighted to see Tanaka come in. Now, that's not a dig at Stack by any means. I think it needed freshening up anyway. But were you impressed with Tanaka in his first start in a while?
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I think games like that, where you think this is 3 points for the taking here. I think you play Tanaka. I think at home. Yeah. I think he just got. I know, he's not a proper attacking midfielder, is he? He's like. He does sit quite a lot, but he gets things moving. You know what I mean? He's like really wanting to get forward. But yeah, I think Stack the last couple of games is not been heights of the early start of the season, is he? You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it needed freshening up a little bit.
Yeah. I thought it was a good call from Fark. To be fair, I thought the way he kind of he's taken it on board with performances and that. Granted, the strike was unlucky against Tottenham, but I did notice a few times against Burnley, of all teams, as well. Like, it was something that we noticed last year as well against Preston away, where strike got too tight just on the halfway line and got turned. Yeah. Whereas I think Biol and Rodon, they're kind of similar in the sense that they'll press high, but they're not going to get too tight because they can. I think they maybe read the game a little bit better than Strike does. Something. What do you think of that? Like,
well, I noticed. I think Biol sort of like stands back a little bit. Judges everything first, and if he feels he can get there, then he goes for it. But like I say, Strike gets turned. It's known for it, isn't it? It's like Preston last year. He got turned well. Did a couple of times against Burnley and against Spurs. So I think the change was needed. I think personally, not against Stroke. Not I mean, he's a good player, but I think you've got to go that level up now.
Yeah,
The championship, it's fine for the championship, don't get me wrong, even though he did get 10 quite a bit still, but it was solid enough for the championship. But you need to go up a level. I mean, you can't. I know, like, Bogle's risen to it, Rodon's risen to it. I think Strike was just a bit.
Do you think, was he nervous after being in a team that got badly, embarrassed quite a bit towards the relegation season? Like, do you think it's that kind of having a knock-on effect?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because it's like there was only him and Mez left, is he? Was that all it was?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Up until Bamford left.
Yeah, till Pat went. Yeah, and like Mez completely shit himself, didn't he, last year? So yeah, you can't take that risk. Not in the Premier. The main thing is staying up. I don't care how we do it.
Yeah.
How shit football it looks, it needs to be done. Stay up this year. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think that's basically everyone's kind of sentiment, really. I don't think anyone's getting too ahead of themselves to say, like, the dizzy heights of the top 5 or 6 or anything like that. I think you need to be a bit realistic. But then people will say, oh, look at Sunderland. But it's a different kettle of fish at Sunderland. They didn't have a PSR to kind of worry about because we're down in the Championship and the League One for so long that it totally alleviated any kind of fears that they had of overspending. And they were able to spend that 60 million more than us. You know what I mean? So I think overall at the moment, I'm quite happy with how we're performing, and individuals coming back now from injury is going to be nothing but good for the squad as well. It drives competition and keeps everyone on their toes. Like I was a bit surprised to see Okafor starting, considering he didn't train all week. Like,
yeah, well, that was another thing. Like, with his presser on Wednesday, he mentioned again, you know what I mean? That he mentioned him that he had trained, but not as much as the rest.
Yeah.
But he could be involved. I thought he might stay on the bench, start on the bench. But I think if you're on the bench, you're fit enough to play. I think that's just a choice of selection.
Yeah.
Personally. So, but yeah, I was glad to see him though, because he's our danger man, isn't he? He's our outlet. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not, him and Gabby have like got a decent understanding together until now. And it was like when Bogle was the same. Like him in pre-season, it was him and Nonto had a real good understanding, and because James was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, but I think your two full backs and wingers, if they're fully fit, then we've got a good understanding.
Yeah.
And
I did like what they were doing during the preseason as well, especially that game against Man United in Sweden. Like, it was one of those where you could see that they had a good kind of understanding even from the previous season of how each other play and whatnot. The one criticism I would have of Okafor on Friday night is whenever Goodmanson got into a position where an overlap was very, very much on from Okafor, he chose not to. And I'm not sure if that's what he's been told or what the story is, but I'd like to see him overlap a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because there was times where Gabby Goodmanson could have put him in 2 or 3 times down that in the first half down the left wing, but he just kind of held off on the run. And you're looking at it going, geez, that's a good gap to get into there.
Yeah, we did exploit him down that left-hand side quite a lot, I thought. There was a couple of times there was like a couple of overhit crosses, passes down the wing. Like I don't understand why they water the pitch when it's been pissing down all day. It fucking battles me. Those players fucking slipping all over the place. And you think, why are you watering the pitch? But yeah, I've noticed it. Like, he was coming inside quite a lot, wasn't he, Okafor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, if you're going to get that chance, if it's weather like that and the pitch is fucking sodden, you've got to shoot from distance, haven't you? Like, test that keeper.
Oh, Jesus, absolutely. I think you're spot on with that, Johnny, man. I thought he had that Scarles.
Yeah.
I thought he had him on toast the whole time. I don't think Somerville kind of helped your man out at right back at all much, to be fair. But we'll get into Somerville in a little bit. But
yeah, where we've seen that before.
well, this is what we'll get into in a little while. And I just like I said, he had that fullback on toast, so I'm not quite sure why there wasn't a few more overlap and runs or anything like that. But look, it's something that will probably come again once we get kind of flowing, and maybe it wasn't up to it because he was only at 45 minutes in him. But I still think he contributed quite a lot. Like, he was very unlucky with the header leading up to Aronson's goal. It's it's a good save down low to the keeper's left, but he punched past it right into the path of Aronson.
Where was that? Yeah, because I was in a different seat because Alfie had mine. I can pay 50 quid for another ticket. And I was a bit fair. Next block along in the east end, but fair. But I was quite high up, underneath that canopy thing.
Yeah,
I had quite a good view there. Like, I was sat behind Emma's little lad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's Johnny. And I was like, all right, man, all right. So he's like, I told my mum, we'll get a selfie. And like, oh yeah, go on then. I felt bless him. But then I was only there 5 minutes because there was a spare seat near where I normally sit, so I went back down.
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, the header, it was loose, but it was a great save by that keeper, and but then he just pushed it straight in front to Harrison. Like, if he'd have missed that, then Kelly's head would have exploded, wouldn't it?
I think Kelly's head would have completely fallen off if he'd have missed that. Like, but again, that was another nice break down the middle of the park. You had Ampadu to Longstaff, and then Longstaff out to Aronson, but I thought we'd screwed it when the pass went behind Aronson initially before he played the ball to Bogle. Like, I thought, Jenny Mac, that's not great. And then he recovered it, which was good. Like, there's a nice element of determination from the whole team at the minute, I think, to not be terrible. So they're doing all right, I think it was nice to see Aronson get a goal, to be fair. And I think the rest of his performance that night kind of justified his goal in the game, or some very, very big involvement.
He needed it.
Yeah, he did. And again, like we said, it's going to make it tough for Dan James to get in the squad now, or in the team, with how he's playing. I think that position now is his shirt to lose. Just currently, now he could have an awful stinker in the next game, like, and everyone will be baying for blood, like. But at the moment, he's done enough to warrant the start in the next game. Yeah,
you can't knock him, to be fair. I mean, like I say, I personally would have started James, but I don't see him train every week, do I? I'm just some dickhead who sits in the stands with opinion. So
like, we're all there. We're just put ours on the internet. That's all.
But yeah, they know what they're doing. I mean, you leave it up to the professionals, I suppose.
Yeah. I just go through one or two just before we move on to the Rodon goal and whatnot. There's a couple of comments here. We've got Richard Hogan. How are you, Richard? Just in relation to the momentum chart, we did drop off in the second half, Richard says, and allowed them to have more possession. I think you're right, Richard. We did let them have more possession, but I don't think it was to the extent that we saw on that chart, to be fair. Like, no. I don't think they did. Like, it was a lot of passing around in front of our, well, essentially what turned into a back five, I think, when they had the ball. And there wasn't anything really penetrating from them, to be fair. And the momentum, I think a momentum graph is different to a possession graph. And I think that's a momentum graph rather than anything else. And I don't think they had that much, to be fair. No. I'm not kicking Richard when he's down for his comment or anything, but personally, I don't think they had as much as that chart kind of relates to be fair.
No, it must like go by what parts of the pitch they're in, because there was like at between the halfway line and I was 18-yard box. There was in the middle of that quite a lot.
Yeah.
But they wasn't doing anything with it. They were just passing side to side, and it must go by set ways of the pitch. I don't know, but it didn't give it that impression. It was that type of game to me personally.
We've got Paul Brennan. How are you, Paul? Nice to see you again, man. The first half started at pace on the front foot, and the Hammers couldn't cope at all. That best first half was up with Everton and Newcastle. Matches pressing fast, Leeds at their best. I I like it when we come out of the blocks at home because it gets the crowd going. And sometimes we have this thing where we're really loud and this and that. But there was a few points at which during that game on Friday night, my mate even turned around to me and where I sit, and he was like, "He's a bit dead here, atmosphere wise." Like, there was quite a lull in the giddiness, considering it was a Friday night and there was plenty of pints to be had. Like, and the first half was good. Like, I did enjoy it. We came out of the blocks and it was mental, and I think we should always do that when we're at home. Personally,
As I said, that was like we're traveling down with Alfie, and I said to him, he said, "Oh, what they think tonight?" And I said, "I think, like what you just said, I think go at them because they're there for the taking because they're shit." I thought they're for the taking. I let him. Like, I'm gonna sound like fucking Mystic Meg here, but I said, "Oh, if we go 2-0 up, in the first half, then the second half, control a bit, and then just trying to get nick another and make it 3-0. I had 3-0 on my prediction.
Okay.
But I just thought they're there for the taking. I thought we go after them early, we score early, then they'll collapse. And they did fair play. They did sort of come back into it. Perry made a good save from Bowen, didn't he? With that overhead kick.
Yeah.
And fair play to their fans. They made quite a lot of noise.
They did, didn't they?
They was quite noisy. Yeah, they was probably the noisiest that I've been there this year, I think, so far.
Well, yeah, we were singing "You Sold Your Soul" for that shit hole, and they started singing it with us, and
they were joining in. Yeah, I know it's that.
There was a lot of their anger and hate directed towards their owners, I think. On Friday night, there was
a few sat the boards chants that one day. Yeah,
there was, not fit to wear the shirt, all that going on as well. Just one more now before we move on, Johnny. A frustrating second half, though. We did sit too deep and invite pressure, says Steve Brown. We did, but I don't know if it was, like I said, from Richard's comment, there was never any point at which I thought they were going to be lethal in any of their attacks. Like, we'll come on to their only goal later on after we speak about Rodon and a few bits and pieces. But I wasn't in any way kind of even at 2-1 with 2 minutes to go. I wasn't nervous in any way at all. They didn't. It's the first time I think a team has come to Ellen Road in the Premier League so far where I've not been worried about being 2-1 at 2 minutes to go with them kind of getting a bit of momentum. I was never worried. Like,
no, I just thought we controlled it. Like I said, just let them have the ball. Because we weren't really doing much with it, and they didn't really create anything in that second half bar the goal. They were just passing it around midfield, and it was like, "You can do this all night if you want, lads." You know what I mean?
I'm happy to watch away teams come to us and just pass it around. Like if we're 2-0 up, I'm happy for them to just keep the ball and have it in front of our back line and midfield. I think we're very much capable of keeping anyone out at that rate. Like, but. Again, it was a bit of magic from Bowen. He's always got that in his locker. Even when he was at Hull, he was
it's a class player, to be fair.
Yeah, he was always one player that I thought I if we were going to get someone like that, it would definitely be him. Like back in the day, he was one of those players that you always feared. Like it was like back in the day when you went to Norwich and they had Chris Sutton, and you were always absolutely bricking it because you're like, all right, okay, they're a bogey team for us at Norwich. You know what I mean? When we went down there back in the day.
Bowen's got a tendency to score against us quite a lot as well.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Even when he was at Hull, he did it. You know what I mean? So, all City fans will probably fucking celebrate that.
Probably, yeah. Probably. I'll find out on Monday. There's a Hull City fan in work. I'll ask her what the crack is. So just on to Joe Rodon's goal. I think there's at some point it's going to be Rodon's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Song has to come out at some point. Like that's 3 goals now for club and country this season so far.
Yeah, and all towering heads as well, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's like, I think what's helping now, I think the delivery from the corners are helping.
Yeah, absolutely.
With long staffs. Like as good as Stack is doing his set pieces and that, but he needs to be in the box if he's playing. What's the point of having a 14-foot fucking midfielder? And he's not in the middle. You know what I mean? He's taking corners. You know what I mean? It's like it's like Rapinoe taking throw-ins, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, I think like Longstaff's set piece is great. I think we're good with some Texan. He's got a good delivery as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a massive help, that, isn't it? You know, having some dangerous balls into the box like that.
Yeah, he does like to whip them in as well. Like there was one last night where he kind of floated it in the first half, and it's kind of like, jeez, that's kind of what's that like? But the next couple of them were absolutely whipped in, and they're the ones that are dangerous. They're the ones. It's like it's similar to having a long throw where you're just firing it into a certain position where defender doesn't know if keeper is going to come for it, and vice versa, and it just causes absolute chaos when there's pace on it. That's all Rodon had to do was just knock it back in the opposite direction. And that was it.
Yeah, especially with the weather like it was. You know what I mean? Wet and windy. He's fucking bang on top of the goalkeeper.
You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what
all day long.
Yeah,
it's something that with Longstaff on corners now, we can actually kind of look at them and go, geez, we could score from this now, you know?
When you get excited now, don't you? Like before, like when you get a corner, you're thinking, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit down.
Yeah, no slight to Gruev, but couldn't get it past the first man, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you had the days of fucking Aronson fucking mouthing each other, you know what I mean? Like, dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a bit of, like, you know, like that presence in the box now. We know we've got decent height in there now.
Yeah.
If you can't be low in it, like I said, there's the Stackman is in there, like Rodon's decent in the air.
Beal was there last night.
Yeah,
I thought
it's a little one.
Yeah, when Rodon got the goal, I was watching the movement of Beal and I was like, Beal's going to get this, and then it just went over his head, and Rodon came in unmarked. What's your man's name? Piquet or Piquet or something like that.
Yeah, he just left him.
Yeah, there was nothing there, like, and then he just ended up behind Souček and absolutely bullied Souček out of the way and just got his head on the end of it.
Yeah, it was a great header.
It was a great header, brave header as well, because he could have got properly smashed by their other centre back that went up with him. Like, but
yeah,
I thought the delivery is just what's blowing my mind at the moment. Like, it's so good. Like, it's so good.
I was like, I won't say underwhelmed, but I wasn't like overexcited about Longstaff signing. You know, I was like, yeah, he's a bit of experience in the middle of the park. Bit like with Rothwell last year. You know, like I wasn't too enthusiastic about his signing as well, but he's fucking proving me well wrong. Absolutely well wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? There was a lot of people who were underwhelmed by Longstaff signing, but I personally I was delighted with it. I thought it was the Premier League experience that he's got. When we got him, he had 170 plus games under his belt in the Premier League
and Champions League as well.
And Champions League, we've seen the leadership skills that he's brought to the centre of midfield as well. It takes away pressure off Ampadu to be that number one go-to guy. Not saying Ampadu can't handle that, but in the Premier League, it's a different kind of ball game, and I think he's taken the weight off Ampadu's shoulders, because you could see it. What was the game where he called everyone into the huddle in the 18-yard box?
That was the Bournemouth game, was it? Was it just after? Bournemouth. Was it just after Rodon scored against Bournemouth? I think it was.
Yeah. And he brought everyone in and did a little bit of a huddle and told them, you're well able for it. You belong here. You know, it's good. Like it breeds confidence throughout the team if the midfield are able to kind of look at it and be like, you know what, you are good enough. Just get the heads down, concentrate, and you can take on anyone. And we've shown that we can take on anyone in this league at the moment.
Oh, yeah. So that I thought the first 25 minutes against Arsenal was all right. But apart from that, we've competed every game. Even people say it was absolute shit against Burnley. We dominated. We just couldn't take chances. We're still playing there now. We still would have scored. It was just one of them days. You get on, but we still dominated. I thought we was always in the game. Just fucking couldn't hit a band door.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And again, people would say it's down to the lack of firepower up front, which it is. But like you mentioned earlier, Johnny, Okafor makes us tick when we're going forward now at the minute. Whenever he's in the team, you can hear the crowd getting excited as well as the players knowing that there's going to be some form of quality coming into the box. And they know if they get in positions like that all they need to do is get on the end of it. So it's
it makes you stand up. It makes you stand up. That's what it does. That's what the players are. Well, we've always liked. You know what I mean? Players up Mickey Garrett, we see.
Yeah.
Gets a body thinking something's going to happen here.
It's a rarity. And what do we pay for him? About 10?
But it was about 18 million. So between 15 and 18 million around the area, I think it's. Right. I think it was. Yeah, if it wasn't in the 20s.
If we can keep him fit, that's a steal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it is.
It's one to kind of look forward to. We'll move into the second half, Johnny, but we'll go through one or two comments here that I've kind of seen. We've got Dr. Cox in the comments. How's it going? Longstaff is a very good player. Couldn't agree more. He is like the glue in midfield that's kind of helping us stick it, Yeah. We've got Michael Gotts here. Howie Michael Gott. Get DCL firing now and we will be fine. I thought
he played well, to be fair.
Man, I thought his dominance in the air was absolutely unreal.
Yeah. I'd love him to get a couple of goals in a game, just really get that little bit more confidence up in him. But people saying, well, we've got him to score goals. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, but we do create a lot off him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We never had that. Like last year, we never had that person holding the ball up, did we? So bring it, because Pirro can't do it. He's not that type of player where he can hold the ball up and bring people into the game.
Yeah.
So, but I think he's doing that part of it. Yeah. But yeah, I would love him to. I think once he gets a little bit of a streak, I think he might be all right.
I think getting the monkey off his back at Wolves was definitely a good way to get going, because that was a pressure game, because we went 1-0 down after 17 minutes, and it was one of those games we could either crumble or demolish them. And I'm glad that even if it's only one goal, that'll do his confidence the world of good. And it clearly is, because he's got a bit of faith in himself to be able to lead the line like that. And I think if we can just get more players around him when he's winning these headers, I think, we could get a lot of goals off him rather than from him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you've got like a fully fit James and a fully fit Okafor, that's pace behind him, innit? Flicks them on. Let's say you got pace behind them. Like against Burnley, we had Harrison and Aronson. They weren't gonna get beyond him. No, because they are that type of players. They are. I mean, Harrison is a winger, but Aronson's not a winger.
No, but I think when you've got the likes of Kyle Walker playing for Burnley, even though his legs might be a little bit gone, he's a super intelligent player. He's
all up there.
Like, that's the thing. You always saw it, even when you were playing Sunday League as a kid. In your 20s or whatever. And as the guys that you were starting to replace, they'd start moving back positions because it's still there. They just don't have the pace for the midfield, that kind of way. And then the same can be said there. He can't go any further back, barring goal. But he's still got the intelligence to be able to do it. And I thought Harrison was terrible that day. Anyway, to be fair, it was the worst kind of wide two that we've seen in a Leeds shirt for quite some time. But
it's 2025, and we've still got them two playing in the side.
Yeah, it's horses for courses there, really, isn't it?
But
yeah, we go on to the second half, Johnny, and with Harrison coming on, do you think we lost a bit of the kind of emphasis to get forward with Okafor going off?
I didn't even know it'd come on until about nearly 60 minutes.
You sure you were sober?
No, because he didn't get involved in the game, and I just saw him charging down the ball. The goalkeeper, I said to Lennon, when did he come on? He went, I'm sorry, did he? Didn't even realise.
Shows the impact he had on the game then.
Yeah. So, but I think that would just bringing him on is just giving Okafor that just giving him minutes. I think, with him coming back from injury, he's not trained much last week. So
yeah,
I think that was quite. I was happy with that when I realised who it was, and then, but you can't go giving him a full game. Not been out for a while. So he's only out for a week, but he's not trained. So yeah, giving him minutes, and I think it'll be give him a bit more against Brighton on. Is it Brighton on Saturday? Yeah, give him a bit more minutes there. Give him an hour. Then there we go.
It'd be nearly time for Dan James and Willie to be getting their minutes in as well. Like, by all accounts, apparently Willie just missed the cut this week, so it's a good sign for next week. Like, do you think with the way the midfield played on Friday night, Johnny, do you think he's going to go and start with that? We know he's a stickler for a winning formation. Like,
I think I'd be quite tempted actually,
especially away from home, to be more attacking.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I know it's a tough place to go to, Brighton, isn't it? Exactly, got the best record there. Do you go like a bit more defensive, again, putting Stat back in? Because they're. I watched a bit of Scum game last night, and their midfield's decent.
Yeah, I threw my eye on that last night as well.
Yeah, it's maybe, but yeah, I think I'd start with Tanaka again. He didn't do that wrong. I thought he played well. I won't change it. I don't think. I think he has a stickler for keeping the same team, doesn't he? We'll win a game.
Yeah.
The only worry I've got was with Goodmanson if he's not fixed. But then again, Justin came on. He was decent, I thought, as well.
That's one I was going to touch on.
Yeah.
Like, normally against Brighton, we've generally lost the midfield battle, and that's where we've broken down sometimes and lost the games. But I'm like you now. I'd rather see us play with Tanaka, Longstaff, and Ampadu in that midfield just for this game to start off with, and maybe just put it to them a little bit, because we've seen that we're good in midfield now. We've got a solid base there with Tanaka and with Ampadu and Longstaff. And then it's just adding to it ahead of them. And I think Tanaka is going to be a very important player now in the coming weeks, especially with the games we've got coming up. Like, I'm not expecting an easy ride down in bad choice of words. I'm not expecting an easy game down in Brighton. But I think what we showed against West Ham is something that we can definitely get behind and look at taking some momentum and positivity into that game. What did we won't get on to Brighton at all, because that's a main pod thing. But what did you you mentioned earlier that you thought Aronson was playing more in a centre kind of role?
Yeah, I thought he was going inside quite a lot. I noticed it because, like, said to the boys, like, said Aronson, he's getting the ball in the middle and he's just running at him, and he's going to win free kicks there.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't seem to be out with Wada. I didn't think quite a lot at all. I thought Bogle more or less had that wing to himself. You know what I mean? So yeah, is he a way you can find to put him in the middle? No, probably not. I think if there's a right winger fit, I think he comes in. James or Nonto fit, I think he's their start for me. But unless he's got some weird photos of Farker, he's going to keep him in. So,
I thought his run down the middle of the park was absolutely fantastic. He got to a certain point where they were nearly afraid to touch him. And I think that's something that he brings to the midfield in an attacking sense. Now, I know people say running around a lot doesn't win you football matches, but if you're running around a lot with the ball at your feet like he did there on Friday night, it's eventually going to get to a point where it will.
He'll draw something in. He'll win with fouls. So because he's, like I say, he's weak as piss, isn't he? So he will win fouls.
Yeah. I like him in tight situations as well. He's got very quick feet. Where granted, he's he's like a Rizla paper. You'd blow him over, like, but he's still. I think that plays into his mindset as well, and it makes him want to be a bit more physical, even though he's probably not able for it. Like, it kind of goes, right, I'm going to show him that I'm not just this, blue Rizla paper type player that can get pushed over and whatnot. Like, I know myself from playing, I was never the biggest of lads, so I always made sure that I want to be there. I always made sure that I went for the biggest lad first and took him out, and then that was generally you'd find people stay well away from you then sometimes. So maybe that's his mentality as well.
I think he needs to go on the Charlie Taylor diet. I think
the Charlie Taylor diet.
Yeah, because there was a year that like he was real skinny, wasn't he? They all of a sudden came back and he was fucking built to fuck. I was thinking, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he needs to. I don't think it's that. Yeah, but some people can't beef up, can they? Some people's body. All right. Is that your kid?
Yeah. But you're right. Yeah. I think it's a difficult one for him. But at the moment, I don't think he's letting it get to him, and he seems to be playing all right. And he gave the Leeds salute into the south stand as well. So maybe he feels like he's kind of battered off the demons, and he's kind of looking at it and be like, right, okay, there's
a player in there. There's a player in there.
Yeah.
But at what level? That's the thing. You know what I mean?
The thing I always go back to, Johnny, is that Bielsa wanted him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And I know Bielsa's a totally different style of coach and this and that. But if Bielsa wanted him, there's clearly something there that a coach up to this point hasn't got out of him, perhaps.
Yeah.
You know.
But Bielsa did like Tyler Roberts as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's very true. Right. Yeah. Let's move along.
No, but yeah, I don't get where you come from. Yeah, if you're getting, wanted by the great man himself, then you've got something about you.
I think so. Just want to throw something in there. Where is it now? I saw it a second ago. And it might give the reason we see Tanaka again on Saturday. Stack his bruised ribs, so maybe needs a bit longer out to heal.
Yeah,
they can be a bitch to get right. To be fair,
I've had broken ribs and they're even worse. They're fucking horrible.
Yeah, so maybe, maybe that's why we see Tanaka again on Saturday. Perhaps more of a need rather than a want. Perhaps I don't want to say it in a negative fashion.
Yeah.
Got Paul Brennan here raising a very good point. We get to meet big man Jorginho and James Milner.
Yeah,
Leeds everywhere.
I mean, it'd be, but when ex-players come back, it's like when Harry Gray came back, and don't give him clap and everything. Save that to the final whistle. Save that to after the game. Can make it as intimidating as possible for them. You know what I mean? They don't play for us no more.
Exactly.
Appreciate him after the game.
Yeah.
Unless, apart if we lose. If we win, then we appreciate him. If we lose, just fucking ignore him.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. Because James Milner, Milner took the corner yesterday for Brighton to make the old scum lot shit themselves for a few minutes.
Yeah.
38. Allison points out in the comments there. James Milner is 38. The ultimate pro. I think he's going to smash all records for most games played in the Premier League or something like that, isn't he? Absolute machine of a human being. Machine. Cutting his grass with a scissors and drinking Ribena. I do miss that boring James Milner page. It was very good. I thought it was very good. Good laugh.
Yeah, it was.
Mark Boland, Barlow is in the comments here. Hope Ampadu gives Rutter a big tackle at some point. You know what? You don't want to see any players getting injured, but I do hope it's a good, hard, crisp, crunching, winning of the ball tackle.
George is a tough lad, isn't he, to be fair?
Yeah, and he might have a bit of theatrics if he goes over, but he'll know to expect something anyway
Yeah,
from Amps.
I think so. Yeah. But it will be nice to see Georgie again. To be fair, because I did love him. I think it was a great player. No, I mean, just a shame on it. He had to go. Really, I think we couldn't.
It was the clause, wasn't it? We didn't know the clause was in his contract or anything like that. So
we, as a championship club, we could turn that money down.
Nah, not a chance. Like if we turned that money down for him, we wouldn't have been able to have the summer that we've had in relation to the players we brought in. Even at the prices we brought them in at, we'd have still struggled if we didn't sell Jorginho.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Yeah,
it's a bigger picture type scenario.
Oh,
yeah, Mark's is here in the comments again, Johnny. One for you here. You were on about Tyler Roberts being a love of Bielsa. So also that Helder Costa book.
I forgot about him. But well, yeah, he was all right in parts again when but then he just he got to his level again, didn't he? You know, Premier League, he was no good. I think you got to buy players for the division you're in. Simple as that, aren't you? That's what I've always said, like Longstaff, as much as I'm liking him now. But if we need to go forward, he probably won't be in your side.
Depends on who you bring in, though, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you want to go forward, if you're starting to like get a lot better, you know, you start challenging for trophies and things like that. Eventually, these type of players will move on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you've got to. If you want to, you can't stand still in the Premier League. I don't think you need to. You need to keep on proving like what, as I hate to say it, like Brentford. They're not. Bournemouth, they lost all their back line last year.
Yeah.
Now look at them. You know what I mean? They're just doing it all again. So yeah, he's just got to keep ticking along.
See, I tend to agree with you a bit on that now, and disagree with you on certain elements. I think even if we're moving forward in relation to where we want to be in the Premier League and that, I think a Longstaff Ampadu partnership in midfield is very kind of good regardless, because if you're changing one of the three, you definitely leave the two of them. But what you could do then is you could buy a more creative player to play a false 10-8 role.
Yeah, we do need that creative one, don't we?
Yeah. So I think with those two at the base of a midfield, I think you can still move forward in relation to the quality you're bringing in and keep that solidity with those two. But the one in front needs to be like that 8 false 10, very creative type player, like a kind of Bowen type player.
Yeah,
you know, in that area of the pitch to kind of unlock the passes, like with that goal that they got in the second half. That came from nothing. Like he was about to play it out wide and he just turned back inside and it was just a little dink pass.
Yeah.
Now, in saying that, Ampadu and Bleeding Be-All both stuck in no man's land with him in between the two of them.
Yeah, so, I thought it was more down to Ampadu. He didn't track him, did he? Personally, he just drifted into that gap between Be-All and Ampadu, and he just sort of like noticed he just went by Ampadu, and when Ampadu, he just kept looking at the ball. He didn't turn around and look to see where his man was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It swings and roundabouts. Like Dr. Cox in the comments here, and he's basically saying Leeds need 2 or 3 players in January, no excuses. Money perhaps, but I was having that conversation with one, I think it might have been Jay in the Peacock afterwards, where why not just go balls to the wall and bring in 2 or 3, because the worst that's going to happen to you is 2 points. They've set a precedent with Forest for the amount they broke the rules in relation to FFP and all that shite. So if it's only going to be 2 points and you can bring in 2 or 3 players that are going to elevate you up the table, then it's nearly worth it. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think we can spend. I don't know, apparently we are at the limit, aren't we? But apparently we can spend, but as long as we sell somebody before a certain time in June or July, I think, if we to bring it into this year's books. So we can do it that way if we sell somebody back into the in the summer, for a certain day. So there's scope to work with. You know what I mean? You might be able to bring maybe a loan player, a couple of loans, or you do bring a bit of player, a decent player in, like, but it's there. I think we do need to, but it's the 49ers do seem to be like they want to do things by the book, don't they?
Yeah, but sometimes doing it by the book.
Sometimes you just got to think, well, fuck it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's like, as we all know, it's a notoriously hard time to sign the players that you want as well.
Yeah.
And it's a case of signing players that you know you're going to use again next year, and they're not going to be buying another player in that position to do the same thing. But you have to buy them now because you could only get a little step up in January, whereas in the summer you can get like that, you know.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful with that as well. Like,
oh yeah, you got to buy players that you think you're going to keep, stick around. It's just wasting money then if you don't, because you aren't going to you might not have any decent selling value. So you need to bring somebody you're going to keep. So like I say, a winger, possibly. Yeah, I think we definitely need another winger. But then you don't know how fit James and Donto are going to be.
Yeah.
If they're fit, then they think, is it point buying them to get number 10 in? You know what I mean? So there's different ways around it, really, I think.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it can be hit and miss, really. Like,
Yeah.
Overall, Johnny, just give me your final thoughts on the whole Friday night game, and then just we'll look to let these people get on with their Sunday.
Well, like I said, I won't say. Well, was it a must win? I think it was. I think if we'd have got something at Burnley, then you would have probably if we'd have won at Burnley, it would have been must not lose. But with us lose at Burnley, it was a definitely must win. For the games coming up, so we've got Brighton, haven't we? Brighton and Villa and Forest.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I think that's before we're going to fucking playing against the Death Star, don't we?
The Death Star.
So we need to get points in that. Yeah, we need to get points in these next 3 games now. I think Forest away, I think capable of getting something there. So Villa at home again. Anybody at home, I feel all right against teams at home. We'll give people a game. So
I'm very much the same.
Yeah, I get a point at Brighton, I'd be happy with. But I kind of see it. I don't know.
Like, we've got City away. That's going to be mental. We've got Chelsea at home, and look what Sunderland did to them yesterday.
Yeah, again, like I said, I mean, anybody at home, I'm like, as long as we make it up for it, because we won't back down. We'll go at them. Like we used to do this years and years ago. I'm talking like late 80s, early 90s. We had the reputation of really starting fast, getting straight into them.
Yeah,
and that was like the Leeds way back then, and now it's all fucking tippy tappy shit, innit? But you don't get those teams, clatter into players like you used to have. Like, you should love when we had Vinnie Jones. You used to sit there, fucking him and David Batty, like
smash people.
Yeah, your man. You see him pointing at their players. You know what I mean? Like talking to them, and they say, "Fucking, we don't do that no more." I think that's what we need to get back to. Just charge. You know what I mean?
Do you sound like you very much want the dirty Leeds tag back in there?
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah, I do. I love games like that. Fucking hell, yeah. I liked playing in games like that. The dirty, the better. It's a good laugh.
There you go. That's the stuff. My overall thoughts Friday. Good all round performance. Few impressive displays from individuals as well. Definitely stuff we can work on. The crowd, we were good. We can be better. There was a good whack out that went round at one point, and I think West Ham tried joining in with that, not understanding the irony of why we sing it. But overall, I was very, very happy with Friday. Walking away from Ellen Road in the piss and rain with 3 points is it's a good way to not spoil your Friday and your whole weekend.
Yeah, I was staying to office. I do love Friday games. I can't remember last time we lost on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's
been a while, hasn't it?
A while.
Yeah, Friday night games. I've grown to like them, even though I have to drive, which is a fucking pain in the ass. But well, I'll get a lift. But
Yeah.
And no, let's say at work, I deliver around there on a Friday. Like literally on Friday, I got in my house at 4:45. I'd had my dinner outside Ellen Road. I went to Gravy's for my dinner. I had my dinner outside the ground. I walked in the door at 4:45, and I was walking out again at 4:15 to go all the way back. And like that's so I thought, right, I drive. So I said to my nephew, I said, "You can drive." So
there you go.
yeah,
Nice one.
but I don't like Friday night games. I don't. It's Saturday the Sunday 2 o'clock. I don't like. I can't stand them.
Well, we've got Sunday 2 o'clock, Forest away. Sunday 2 o'clock, Villa at home. So
I know.
You're gonna get your fair share of them now, Johnny.
Yeah, I know. I'm just dreading the 8 o'clock Saturday night games. That's the one.
Yeah,
we're bound to get one of them by the end of the year.
Well, Jesus, we've Chelsea on a Wednesday night at 8:15.
Yeah, is that
who makes up them times? Like,
is that the old Amazon times when Amazon used to have it?
I think so. Yeah.
Or is it in December? That? Or is it
November? Yeah. It's in December.
So has Amazon got that contract still?
I don't know, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, they had the month for the Premier League games, didn't they? Amazon.
Right. Okay.
And they used to have 8:15 fixtures. Somebody might tell me I'm wrong, but yeah, I seem to remember when there used to be Amazon times. I mean, because there's no trains on for the Chelsea lot at all, going on.
Yeah.
So this is TV. They don't give a fuck about football fans, so absolutely don't give a shit.
Yeah, we've absolutely tore the arse out of that on the main pod a few times.
Yeah.
So Johnny, look, thanks very much for joining me, man. I think we've gotten through 57 odd minutes there of us waffling, and just want to say thanks. I know, I haven't lost sound, I haven't skipped, I haven't done anything. This is kind of refreshing. I'm not going to lie. I'm walking away from this pod kind of happy.
You'll have to give Jay a big kiss for that laptop.
Oh, Jesus, just up. He knows the crack now at this stage. But I just want to say thanks to everyone in the comments. As always, you do help us along the show with talking points and stuff like that as well. So do always keep them coming. Don't ever feel like you can't comment because we might take the piss out of you or you're taking the piss out of us. We're here for a bit of crack. We don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think in a nutshell, it's always nice to have you along for the ride. Bells, subscribe and follow Thingy Me Bobs down the bottom there if you don't mind. Lads are back. Oh yeah, the thing up the top there as well. Yeah, the lads are back on a Tuesday. Let me have a look. I'll give you a precursor to who's on for a bit of crack because I don't know if we ever do that. But should we do it now? See what the story is.
Smarty do the schedule.
Smarty's done the schedule now this year, and he's very proud of himself. Very proud of himself. So I'll just tell you now who's on. If it loads, there it is. Berardi, West Ham, Brighton. Oh, it's me, Smarty, and Jay. So I'll see you Tuesday then.
The good lucky three.
The lucky three. Well, look, it's lucky now because everything's working for me, so it's all good. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a nice Sunday afternoon. Enjoy your roasts and your puddings and whatever it is you're doing, going for walks and all that. And we shall catch you again on Tuesday. Thanks very much, Johnny. Nice one, bud.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Sir.